This episode of Paddling TV is brought to you by Bic Sport Paddle Surf, helping you have more fun and fitness on the water since 1979. For more information, visit BicSUP.com.
So you've got your gear and you're ready to walk on water for the first time. The first thing to do is to find an appropriate place to get your feet wet. One of the great things about stand-up paddleboarding is that you can do it on just about any body of water. But in the beginning, it's important to choose a calm location. When I say a calm location, I mean a spot that's protected from both wind and waves. In fact, wind is the single biggest factor when choosing a paddling location. And if there's a strong wind, you're probably going to want to wait for calmer conditions if you can't find a sheltered spot.
Another factor that makes a good stand-up paddleboard launch is a smooth entry point to the water, like a sandy beach, grassy field, or a boat dock. Really anywhere that makes launching your board easier and falling off your board less dangerous.
Now that you've chosen the right spot to launch, let's take a look at how you'll get on your board. When you're getting on the water, you'll definitely want to watch out for your board's fin, because if your fin is in too shallow of water, it can break or it can cause you to fall off your board. To avoid this, you're going to wade into the water with your board between you and the water. You're going to wade out into the water until you're in about knee-deep water before you get on. The only exception to this is if you're in the surf zone. In the surf zone, you don't want to have your board between you and the oncoming waves, so you'll hold your board between yourself and the shore.
To get on board, place your paddle perpendicular to it, just in front of the carry handle, with your hands over the paddle shaft. You'll then place one knee on the far side of the carry handle, and then the other knee on the near side of the carry handle.
If this is your first time on a stand-up paddleboard, you'll definitely want to spend some time paddling around on your knees.
Not only does this let you get a feel for the board, but kneeling is an important position to be familiar with, because it's a great position to assume when you need a break from standing or if conditions get rough. When you're paddling on your knees, you'll hold your paddle with both hands on the shaft and make sure you get the blade fully in the water for each stroke you take. To switch sides, take your top hand off the shaft, let the paddle blade swing to the other side of the board, then place the hand you took off under the bottom hand and slide the bottom hand up the shaft.
Once you're comfortable paddling around on your knees, it's time to stand up.
To stand up on your board, place your paddle across the board in front of you with your fingers over the shaft. Now look towards the horizon, tuck your toes, and one at a time, bring your knees up to your chest and place your feet flat on the board. You'll then just press up like doing a squat with your back straight.
As you're standing up, try to keep your feet flat on the board instead of being up on your tippy toes. This is a much more stable position.
Once you're up, get your paddle in the water quickly, because when your paddle is active in the water, it helps you maintain your balance.
Once we're up and standing, we're going to need to do what's called trimming our board. Trimming your board means finding the sweet spot where you're balanced and you don't have too much of the nose out of the water and you don't have too much of the tail out of the water. Right now, I can look back at my tail, look at my nose, and see that I'm pretty well trimmed. If I need to adjust my trim, I can plant my paddle on the board, and then I can move up if I need to move up. But you can see now my tail sticks out and my fin is sticking out of the water. I can move back to trim. If I move to the back, now you can see the tail is sinking underwater. I'm again out of trim towards the tail in this situation. So there you have it. Now you know where and how to launch your stand-up paddleboard. Next, we're going to take a look at 4 golden rules that are going to help you paddle efficiently, safely, and comfortably.